Let me tell you something the financial gurus on this app will never post about, because it's too boring to go viral. 47% of millionaires built their wealth through business ownership. But here's what nobody tells you. The vast majority of those businesses are not tech startups, not NFT plays, not dropshipping empires. They are painfully boring, repeatable service businesses that quietly stack cash flow month after month, year after year, while everyone else is chasing the algorithm. I'm talking about businesses that don't trend, businesses nobody posts about at dinner, businesses that just work. And today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how one regular guy, Larry, figured this out. Now, before we get into Larry's story, understand this. I've studied hundreds of small business acquisitions, and the pattern is always the same. The people who win quietly are not the ones chasing the next shiny thing. They're the ones who own necessary services and let time compound their results. Laundromats, self-storage, vending routes, car washes, these are not exciting. That's the point. Businesses with a 90% plus success rate don't make great Instagram content, but they make great bank statements. By the end of this video, you're going to know the 6 boring business models that keep producing millionaires, the exact 3 filters Larry used to choose his first acquisition, and the specific month his boring cash flow finally beat his 9-to-5 salary. Let's get into it. At 32, Larry was an operations coordinator at a logistics company. Solid guy, hard worker, bringing home $3,419 a month after tax. Now, Larry wasn't lazy. He had tried the exciting routes. A dropshipping store that peaked at $97 profit. A crypto phase that turned $2,500 into $412. Every single attempt had the same fingerprint. Big hype, complicated systems, unpredictable income, nothing hitting his account consistently every single month. He wasn't failing because he lacked hustle. He was failing because he was solving the wrong problem. He was chasing clever. But wealth doesn't come from clever. Wealth comes from consistent. One night on a late bus home, Larry was scrolling and stumbled on a summary of The Millionaire Next Door by Thomas Stanley and William Danko, and one line hit him like a freight train. Most real millionaires don't look like millionaires. They are self-employed. They run what the authors literally called dull, normal businesses. Larry's first reaction was almost offense. He'd been chasing clever angles, and here was a best-selling book saying, "Be the boring owner of a necessary service and let time do the rest." That's not a consolation prize. That's the actual blueprint. Over the next 12 months, Larry went deep. He studied small business sale listings, followed entrepreneur communities, read deal breakdowns, and the same business types kept showing up in real millionaire stories. 6 of them. Boring business number 1, laundromats. Larry almost skipped this one. His first thought was, who even uses laundromats anymore? Then he looked at the numbers. Urban areas packed with renters, people without in-unit machines, families washing big bedding even when they own a washer at home. The demand wasn't going anywhere. Here's what I want you to understand as a business buyer. You're not looking for romance. You're looking for pattern. Every single week, people need clean clothes. They pay in small amounts. They come back without you chasing them. Larry found an aging laundromat 15 minutes from his apartment. Revenue was steady, but the place looked stuck in 1999. Sticker price, $198,000. Net income after all expenses, roughly $4,200 a month. He scraped together $27,000 for a down payment. The seller agreed to finance the rest over 7 years. That right there is seller financing, and it is one of the most powerful acquisition tools a first-time business buyer has access to. Remember that. Month 1 as owner, Larry took home $1,317 after all expenses and loan payments. Not sexy, but here's the millionaire mindset. $1,317 that required 0 extra hours at the logistics job. That's not just income, that's proof of concept. By month 6, after adding card readers, raising prices slightly, and introducing a simple family wash pass, his net cash flow rose to $2,189. Same machines, same location, better systems. That's the operator advantage. Boring business number 2, vending routes. While upgrading the laundromat, Larry kept noticing something. The little snack machine near the entrance, the same chips and drinks moved first every single time. That's when it clicked. A laundromat isn't just a laundry business, it's a captive audience business. So Larry bought his first proper vending machine from a retiring operator for $2,371 and installed it near the entrance. Then he picked up 3 more and placed them in a nearby warehouse, a quiet office lobby, and a car repair shop. Vending is painfully boring. You drive, you refill, you collect, you check the numbers, that's it. But that's exactly why it works. By month 3, the 4 machines together cleared $1,260 in profit. By month 12, the route cleared $2,413 a month. Now Larry had two boring businesses feeding each other. The laundry brought foot traffic. The vending monetized waiting time. That's what I call a boring business ecosystem. His logistics salary was still $3,219 a month, but his boring lane was now over $4,600 a month, and climbing. Boring business number 3, self-storage. This one scared Larry the most at first. The numbers were bigger, but here's what every serious business buyer eventually learns. Self-storage is built on one of the most powerful psychological patterns. People do not like letting go of their stuff. Once someone puts their boxes into a unit, they keep paying month after month. Even when they tell themselves they'll clear it out next month, that month rarely comes. Larry didn't jump straight into buying a big facility. He partnered. He found a contractor who owned land but hated operations. Larry loved operations. Here's the deal. Larry funded 31% of the build cost and ran all day-to-day operations. That's creative deal structuring. No bank required, just aligned incentives. First year, 24 units built. By month 9, 18 units were filled at an average of $137 per month. After debt service, Larry's share came out to around $1,494 per month once occupancy stabilized. Add that to the laundromat and vending route. Larry's boring empire was now generating over $6,000 per month after costs. That beat his job. For the first time in his life, his businesses made more than his employer paid him. That moment doesn't come from one big idea. It comes from stacking boring. At this point, Larry realized the specific business type mattered less than the pattern behind all three. Small, repeat payments, services people feel they need, behavior that keeps customers coming back automatically. That's the boring business formula. Boring business number 4, car washes. Not the giant branded tunnel washes. Simple, local car washes. You invest in equipment once, water, soap, brushes. Then you let volume do the heavy lifting. Simple service, low number of moving parts. Boring business number 5, recurring service routes, pest control, pool cleaning, lawn care. Customers sign up once and stay on a regular route. Revenue becomes predictable. Think about it, one pest control route covering 82 homes. That's a system. Boring business number 6, property management. Being the bridge between everyday landlords and tenants, collecting rents, coordinating repairs. Scale that to 150 doors and you're suddenly in serious income territory, handling tasks that most landlords would pay anything to outsource. Larry didn't build all 6. He focused on 3. But studying all 6 taught him the real lesson. You don't need a brilliant idea. You need a boring one that survives. Here are the 3 filters Larry now runs every opportunity through. Write these down. Filter 1. Do customers pay you at least once a month without being chased? Laundry, storage, pest control, they all tie into habits. The payment happens naturally. It's stable because it's routine. Filter 2. Is the customer's buying decision low drama? Nobody calls a family meeting to decide on a $12 car wash or a $179 soda. The price slides under the emotional radar. That's what makes your income stable. When customers don't feel the spend, they don't cancel. Filter 3. Can you eventually own or control the underlying asset? The washers, the storage units, the vending routes. This is what separates buying a boring business from just buying yourself a job. You want to own the asset that generates the cash flow. At 32, Larry's net worth was roughly $5,000. By 38, 6 years of focused, boring moves, the picture looked very different. He still wore the same kind of jeans. He still drove a practical car. But his assets were now worth a fortune. The laundromat was worth around $341,000. His share of storage was worth $127,000. The vending route could fetch $89,000. Combined with reinvested earnings and a home, his net worth crossed the $1 million mark at 38 years old. No viral moment, just steady compounding. So here's what I want you to do tonight. Pick one boring business category that fits your city. Just one. Laundromats if you're urban, pest control in the suburbs, vending near commuter traffic. Write down 3 concrete moves, tiny steps, boring steps. 6 years later, people call him lucky. What they don't see are the evenings he spent reading about laundry machines and tenant software instead of chasing the latest trend. You don't need to copy Larry's exact mix. You only need to copy the principle. Own boring, serve needs, stack cash flow. If this gave you a new way of thinking, drop a comment below. Tell me which of the 6 boring businesses you're most interested in. Subscribe for more deal breakdowns. This is not a hustle channel. This is a wealth building channel. I'll see you in the next one.